She's going the distance. She's going for speed. She's all alone in her time of need. Okay, well, not all alone. She's kind of got Theo. Welcome back to another video, and today we've got a new one for y'all. This game was recommended to me by my good friend, Third Digit. He said he would love for me to give this a shot since he knows that it's in the bundle. A lot of people bought this bundle, so that kind of makes sense. Today we're talking about the super cool, incredibly challenging, but so rewarding platformer, Celeste by Maddie Makes Games. This has got to be the biggest named game that I've seen in this bundle. I can't think of a bigger name that comes in this bundle. Also, I have no idea why this game always reminds me of my friend Chi-Chi. She didn't do anything for it, I think, but that's weird that whenever I see the character Celeste, I think of her. I love Celeste. She climbs platforms and isn't scared of anything. But let's get into it. This game, you actually play as a girl named Madeline, who is on a quest to climb this mountain. Along the way, you are faced with difficult terrain in the form of these heavy-duty platform levels. The controls are simple: move, jump, grab hold of a wall, and wave dash. The game starts you off simple, giving you a couple of easy gaps to jump over, adds a falling platform to let you know that there might be traps like this, introduces you to a climbing mechanic with the help of your friend the bird, and then after that, it starts to get into the real fun, where you're given the dash ability, and it's your job to combo these skills together, grabbing walls, moving platforms, collecting strawberries. The other thing that's in this game are strawberries. These are small collectible items hidden in the levels as extra bonus things that you can collect on your way up the mountain. You don't have to collect them all, but I also don't have to align my sock drawer into two nice rows of 25 pairs of socks. And when I take one out, I have to take one from the front left, and then take one from the front back and move it to the bottom right, keeping a last in, last out order of operations. I don't have to do this, but I do, okay? I have to. I have to. There's no other way of doing it. I have to do this or else the world has no order. Sorry, where was I? Oh right. Ow! My thumbs! This game can be played with either a keyboard or mouse, or the way it should be played, and that's with a full-fat controller. Time to whip out the Wired 360 controller. This game started giving me hot spots on my thumb just after 45 minutes. The pattern and routine that this game has to follow to get the game down perfectly, and to move through the platforms as quickly and cleanly as possible, I slowly felt my hands disassociate with my body. It wasn't like I was paying attention to holding a controller, I was just doing it. I wasn't bogged down with thinking of hitting buttons. I was just doing the actions that needed to get Madeline through the level. Well, that was the case until I would die 3 times in a row because I didn't move the stick forward enough to make a diagonal boost and not a vertical boost. Then I was for sure thinking about how I needed to shift my thumb a little bit more. Folks, can we talk about the music in this game for a second? I've been writing this review all the way so far with the soundtrack playing on Spotify. For sure go check it out if you can't afford this game. But it's got such a great chiptune-esque feel to it. There are some great songs in it. They all fit this game so well. There was a game that I reviewed a while back called A Short Hike, where I was talking about how the soundtrack was great, but while I was listening to it, I was falling asleep. This game's soundtrack is getting me going. It's smooth and easy to listen to without putting me down for a nap. And that might just be due to the nature of the genre of these two games. Short Hike was an easy, relaxing walk around the park with some puzzles in its 3D climbing platform style, while Celeste is a bit more action. It's okay with sprinkling in some percussion to tell you about the ratcheting tension, giving the levels some sci-fi feeling, or being chased by a doppelganger. This is, after all, a game where you might have to dodge spikes falling down from the sky, or ice blocks falling out from under you. I just love the soundtrack so much. This has got to be the best sounding game I've played so far of all these reviews. The last 3 paragraphs, I've been banging out words and bobbing my head along to the song Scattered and Lost. Okay, let's talk about something else in this game. We need to move on. The art in this game is also stunning. I love everything this game gives me. The pixel art is so expressive and clear to what these things are in the game. There are so many games out there that try to do the pixel art, and it just ends up looking like a chunky mess. And it's so expressive in the way that things move in such a fluid and weighty way. The way Madeline moves and jumps feels so right. When she jumps, I can feel the weight of her jump. The arc and movement are so perfect as she reaches the peak of her jump and then falls back down, picking up a little bit of speed as she reaches the ground. Then there are the dialogue box pictures that come up when you're talking to other people. The contrast between the sharp pixel art in the game versus smooth rounded lines in the profile is such a great look. Any other game that did this would feel like it's some sort of cop-out. Like, when an art style isn't consistent. The whole world uses one color palette, and then another part of the game, it doesn't. Or if your player icon was different shape or size from other NPCs, in a way that made your character something like 75% the height, or missing the same detail as yours. Or how a friend of mine would complain about other games where enemies would do things that aren't following the rules of the game. Celeste doesn't do that. It's able to break the mold in this way simply because I think the text box is so removed from where the characters are on screen. If the game was doing that weird thing where in some visual novels where the text is shown below and then a transparent profile of them shows up overlapping the game world, well, now that I'm thinking about it, if they did that, how off-putting would it be? I think if they had the characters talking to each other like that, it would suck and not look right at all, especially since the game world still has things going on in it while the people are talking to you. Sometimes it's zoomed in to show you someone laughing. Sometimes a character goes and does something like pick up a phone or take a picture while still locked in this cutscene. And then there's the final bit of love I want to give to the art. And that's the end cards, the little sprinkling of large art that comes up in the game. It's a great little reward for you as a player to making it this far, other than the reward of beating the level and then going to the next part of the game. The end of world art makes a great cap to the struggle of making it to this part. The first part of art I was given, where Madeline is taking a break next to a fire, I was warmed as well. Not literally, I live in Phoenix. It's still 100 degrees at midnight, so I'm always warm. But then I saw it. She was looking so incredibly cute in her poofy down coat. I let out a little aww. This game's art is the best. Every part is great. And I'm just so glad that it's another thing they got right in this game. Gush. That's all I can say this review is going to be. Just straight up, unadulterated gushing from me. I'm so sorry. Wait, no I'm not. Let me gush some more. There was also a part where I first saw the weird yellow diamond things. I thought they were another collectible, so me being an idiot and knowing full well that when Madeline's hair turns blue, she doesn't have another dash in her. I didn't notice right away after I picked up the diamond thing, her hair went back to red, and I could perform another dash after picking that thing up. That's so smart! The prologue didn't feel like a prologue or a tutorial level. It felt like I was just starting the game, and it's just part of the level progression. It wasn't until after I finished the first world that they called it the prologue that it dawned on me that, yeah, that was a tutorial, wasn't it? And then when I moved into the city, that's when I felt as though I was ready to start getting into the challenges. In the first level, they give you a perfect view into the second room, if I'm remembering correctly, where you walk under the person you will soon be introduced as Theo, giving you a clear hint to tell you, hey, this is a... Wait, that didn't happen there. You walk under him in the second world. Beans. That one's on me, guys. Unreliable narrator right here. Anyway, there are times where it does that 2D side-scroller thing where it shows you that there's something above you that you might have to go back for in the next room. I love that stuff. Geez, folks, this game's just the best. I'm not the first to talk about this game, not by a long shot. It originally came out in 2018, and by now, everybody who wanted to play this game probably has. And anybody who hasn't is probably fine not having played it. Oh, friend, if there was one game I could recommend you the most so far, it has got to be Celeste. I know most of these reviews are meant to be me giving you a recommendation if a game is good, if the experience of the game is enjoyable, if the game gives you something new or different in an experimental way that pushes the genre forward, or even if it's just straight up fun. But this game just hits all the right notes. The levels are challenging, the buttons are simple, the concepts in this game are simple at times, and the times where it does something weird, it helps bridge the gap quickly, educating on what this new thing is, and then you get to go have fun and experiment. Like, there's this part in the world just after the abandoned city, there were these weird platforms that looked like big gray rocks with gems inside. But the gems were sort of moving like how the world shifts outside your window when you walk past it. That weird sort of parallax effect? I think that's the term. Probably not. And I kept thinking that due to this weird effect that they were holes in space, I could move past them, like they were set dressing in the background. But they weren't. They were just weird glitter platforms. I was so ready to write this off as bad game design. Come on, devs, that's basic 101 stuff here. You're breaking my immersion. But then it was fixed in story. An event happens and the grayed out blocks fill with color and stars, and they're introducing a new game element and added a level of complexity. Have I told you yet that I love this game? Can you tell I had fun playing this game? Because boy howdy, did I have fun playing this game. I can't get over how every time I think that the game's gotten to a point where the game starts to feel stale, it turned me around and gave me a new thing to love. It's at this point in the review, I've noticed that I've been typing non-stop for about an hour and a half, just going and going, dumping all of my love for this game onto the page. 6 pages and 2,500 words. I'm at 6 pages. I can't gush anymore. I need to call this review to an end. Like I said, it's an amazing game, and I cannot recommend it enough. If you can find it at a price that won't break the budget, then I highly recommend it. If you played the game, great. I'm happy for you. You don't have to convince me of anything. I'm right with you. If you want to talk about how great this game is, post it up in the comments. If you haven't played this game, I've said it enough. You know what you should do by now. But is there another game you know that makes you feel the same way I do about this game? Let me know about it. In the meantime, sure, now I get into a game that's all about strawberries just when my strawberry plant stops making berries for the summer. It's an Arizona thing. It's too hot out and they mostly bloom and grow berries in the fall, winter, and spring. Now I'm just stuck to buying strawberries at the store. Oh well, you all do the YouTube dash. Like, sub, bell, comment, tell someone you know about this hour-long gush of the game. And as always, friends, keep digging. We'll make it out someday. See you in the next one.